Hello, I'm Chloe. I am a creative living and working in Tokyo, Japan, and I wanted to make a video, a little Q&A as someone who lives in Japan about living in Japan, because that makes sense. Okay, question number 1. Why did you move to Japan? Well, I graduated university and I no longer wanted to go to law school. I was like, let me live and work abroad. And at first I applied for an au pair position in France. And I was really close to taking an offer. And then I got the information about it, like the details, how much I would get every month. And I think I would only get like 300 USD every month. I would get free accommodation and free food and all that, but I have credit card bills that are more than $300 a month. I was like, okay, I need something with like a salary. I need money, not just pocket change. My dad was like, why don't you just apply to teach somewhere, teach English? Didn't you always watch Studio Ghibli, The Spirited Away movie? Howl's Moving Castle. Right, I did. I was a big Ghibli fan. Oh, Japan. Okay, let me look into Japan. So I did my research. I found some companies. Well, I found one. And I applied and I got a job as an ALT. And I came to Japan. So basically, I moved to Japan because I wanted to live abroad, but I couldn't afford it. So I had to work abroad. And I wanted to kind of figure my life out. And I thought moving somewhere else would help me figure my life out. Also, I wanted to escape some problems back home. But I also learned that your problems don't leave when you move. Your environment leaves, but up here doesn't. So don't forget that. Moving won't solve your problems. It might make more. But actually I guess moving taught me how to better deal with my problems because it forces you to be stronger and more independent. Question 2. What was English teaching like in Japan? English teaching, I did that for around 5 years. It was okay. I think because I had a passion for something else, mostly like film and creative work, it was hard for me to put my heart into English teaching. And I had 3 English teaching jobs. And all of them, the students, the staff, they made me want to come to work. The connection that you form with them is really, really strong. I never thought of myself as a kids person. I never really liked kids, to be honest. Sorry. But seeing them grow and seeing them learn and hearing them talk to me about their weekends, about things they're scared of, things they're aspiring towards, their hopes, their fears, their dreams, like I really felt just nurturing. Like I just wanted to hug them and tell them everything was gonna be okay. I wanted to protect them. I was like, wow, I totally get it. Why when there's like something crazy like a school, why the teacher, puts their life on the line for the kids. I finally understood that feeling. I was like, if someone crazy comes into school right now, I'm 100% throwing myself at them and attacking them to save the kids. You just feel very selfless with the kids. The kids made it worthwhile, but the pay was not amazing. You feel a bit like another number. If you're a charismatic English speaker, I feel like it's not too hard to get hired. You feel expendable sometimes. And sometimes you can really feel like a performer, but not in a good way. Like a spectacle. You're the English teacher. Haha. But when you have a small classroom and you really have that close connection with the students and you can really see their growth and you see them on a frequent basis, I feel like that's really rewarding. But when they try to milk you dry and make you teach hundreds of kids and all these classes and all of this and all of that, you feel like you can't devote as much as your time and energy to each student, and it's really sad. It feels horrible, but you're only one person. It's impossible. So that was a discouraging part of the job. How did you get your current job in Japan? So I currently work in the creative industry, specifically in social media, and I also work in acting and modeling. How did I get this job? So basically I built up a portfolio and a resume, and I did that by getting more pictures and videos of myself doing modeling and acting and just getting that experience in general. And I did that through collabs, through gigs, through so many different ways. And I slowly built up my resume and my portfolio until I could get higher paying jobs and, just a bigger variety of jobs. And then I also made a YouTube, and I started to take YouTube and social media a little bit more seriously. And I also got a job for this big YouTuber in Japan, and I put that on my resume. And then everything combined allowed me to apply for a few creative jobs, full-time jobs. And I landed one based on that experience. So it was me just doing what I could outside of my 9 to 5 English teaching day job. Really tough, it was really draining, but doing all those creative side quests. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to build that resume, to build that portfolio. The dreaded resume. I hate resumes. Why resume? And I networked. I hate saying networked. LinkedIn ruined the word networking. Let's say meetups. I went to a lot of meetups. I met a lot of people who gave me a job. And then they told their friend about me, and their friend offered me a job. Or a gig. I should say a gig. And then the friend of a friend offered me a gig, and then the friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Yeah. What still surprises you about Japan? I think I'm always shocked about the dichotomy of modern living and traditional old-fashioned living. Because why did I have to go to the bank and fill out 3 forms in person to change my address? But at the same time, there's a robot cafe where a robot just brings me my order. Why was there a robot dinosaur hotel? Like, but then you have to fax a piece of paper over somewhere. Like, sometimes I'm just shocked. I'm like, but I guess you have the best of both worlds. If you are really into traditional old-fashioned stuff, retro, but you're also into futuristic, Japan's living a 2050 type vibe, you can kind of get the best of both worlds. I guess the bureaucratic nature of things can just be pretty bothersome, but I guess that's a hurdle in many countries, not just Japan. Have you ever had dangerous experiences in Japan? Yes, I've had a few. One in particular, I was walking home from a club late at night. I was wearing a dress, and this guy drunk on his bicycle was coming up to me, trying to talk to me. You know, he was speaking Japanese. At the time, my Japanese was not that good, so I didn't really understand. And he kept trying to like grab my dress, like pull my dress up, like from the bottom. And I was like, go away, like don't touch me. I remember I was pretending. I was like, my dad's in the Yakuza. Of course, my dad's not. Like, he's probably like, what? But he was just bothering me, being a weirdo. At the time, me and my ex-boyfriend were in a fight, and I called him. I was like, hey, I know we're in a fight, but this weird guy's following me. Like, can you help me out? I'm like almost at my apartment, and my ex comes out, and he's like, why are you touching my girlfriend? Like yelling at him. They're getting in each other's faces, and the drunk guy pushes my ex. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, no, I don't want them to get in a fight, because I know if there's a fight and the police come, I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm the foreigner. Somehow I'm gonna get in trouble. Even though I didn't do anything. I'm trying to break up the fight. I'm wearing heels. I'm a little tipsy. I fall to the ground. It's so dramatic. My ex picks me up, and I was like, stop, please, no fighting. You know, I was like, no, like the police are gonna come. I don't know, as a foreigner here, you're so scared of getting in trouble. Even if it's not your fault, the police, unfortunately, will usually side with the Japanese person, especially if it's a guy. So me and my ex ended up walking away from the situation, but we look back, and this random stranger is like going up to the weird guy, and all of a sudden, he just punches him straight in the face. We're like, what? So justice was served, yes. I had a few weird incidents like that. Maybe I'll do a story time talking about all of them. Japan is safe in the sense where there's like no and everything, but Japan is not 100% safe. And a lot of crimes are not reported. A lot of crimes are not taken seriously. So, yeah, have your guard up when you're here. What do you love the most about Japan? I like how I can kind of like disappear here. And that sounds dark, but I don't know. I don't know if this is like an introvert thing, a depressed thing, or what, but sometimes in public, I don't want to even, I want to be like a ghost. Like I don't want anyone to look at me, to perceive me, to talk to me. You know, I just want to have like an invisible cloak on. And in Japan, you kind of have that because it is such a reserved society. Most people won't talk to you. Most people won't make small talk. You can go to restaurants with individual seating, and it's not weird to go out to eat alone, and like they have like a little cubby for you. It's a really good place to be a loner. It's a really good place to be an introvert, to be shy, to be awkward. But in America, on the contrary, you always have to make small talk, like with people in the elevator, or if you go out to eat alone in America, it's kind of, you're like the weirdo, right? Like, I don't know. I can be a ghost in Japan and just float through the streets of Shibuya unnoticed. And it's nice. Sometimes. Sometimes you want to be noticed. But it depends. Depends on the day. What's it like dating Japanese people? Well, I could make a whole separate video about this, but it's a bit tricky. Yeah. I have a Japanese partner, but it took me a while to get into a relationship like this, a stable one, a non-toxic one. Thank you. But yeah, I think it could be hard to date here because some Japanese people don't want to date a foreigner. There are some cultural, some language barriers, of course. Some people, sometimes it's their family. Sometimes their family is very traditional and they have those expectations like, no, you have to, marry within your race. And I mean, that's in other countries as well. That's in America too. But I think Japanese people can be a bit more shy, a bit more reserved, especially when they're confessing how they feel about you while dating. When they're drunk though, I feel like they're open. Alcohol is that social lubricant for all of us, I suppose. It can be hard. You gotta go through a lot of, what's the phrase? I don't know. You gotta go through a lot of rocks to find your diamond. Is that the phrase? It's not. I know it's not. I forget idioms. Who knows idioms anymore? I need to learn more idioms. Where have you lived in Japan, and what was your favorite place? I have lived in Hyogo, and after I lived in Osaka, and now I live in Tokyo, Shibuya, Tokyo. I used to say my favorite was Osaka because Osaka had a really tight-knit community feel. They had a really thriving creative scene, music scene, art scene. Like, it was just, there was always a cool event. Like, you would see people and everyone supporting each other. It was really awesome. But I feel like I've gotten so used to Tokyo that I really like Tokyo because it's just exciting. It's a big, big city. There's always something going on. It's like you are rushing. You're in a rush. You gotta go, go, go. Everyone's going, going, going. But I like it. It's exciting, and I feel like the city is always alive. Always. It's like Vegas. It's a city that never sleeps. I mean, depending on where you are in Tokyo. I feel like Tokyo keeps me young. At the same time, it makes me age quicker because of the stress and the price. Tokyo keeps me on my toes. Do you plan on living in Japan forever? That is the million-dollar question. I don't know. I don't want to live in America right now, but I don't want my family to age and age and age and me not be there to see it. So you're really put between a rock and a hard place. Because I really love my life here. I feel like an outsider here at times, but I guess that's normal as a foreigner. Like, I feel like I won't 100% feel like I fit in here. That's okay. Sometimes it gets to me, but overall it's okay. But yeah, just having people you love in a different country and having your childhood roots in another country, it's hard to sever those ties. I mean, you don't have to sever those ties, but how should I phrase this? It's just hard to be away from there. It's hard to be so far. I think if teleportation existed, I wouldn't be saying things like this, but it doesn't. Airfare is long and expensive. Air travel is long, airfare is expensive. I don't know, is it my duty to watch my parents grow old and take care of them? Even if my sister volunteers to do it, should I still be by their side as they get older? Will I regret it if I'm not near them? Will I regret being far away, so far away? Will I regret being so far away, or will I regret putting my life on hold to be with my family? I can phrase it in 1,000,001 ways. There's pros and cons to each. I could build a life in America. It's hard. So I guess, yeah, I don't know. If all my loved ones would come from America to Japan, wouldn't that be nice? A girl can dream. What are your lifelong goals in Japan? So definitely in the creative sphere, I would love to be a big actress in film. It doesn't have to be in Japan, it could be anywhere, but I would love to be a big actress who's like in indie films and also can do shootings in other countries and just kind of like an international actress, I guess. That would be awesome. And or have a successful YouTube channel. Because if I have that, then I can kind of, you know, work on my own time, travel where I want, travel and work in different parts of the world. But could I do both? I don't know. YouTube and acting takes a lot of time. I guess either one of those or both. But I try not to have these like super concrete goals because I feel like when I have them, I kind of dismiss the journey. You know, I don't really focus on the present. I'm like so hyper fixated on the future. I'm like, I have to get there, I have to get there. And then if I get there, you have the, you know, arrival fallacy where you're like, okay, I'm here, now what? Where's the happiness I was promised? Where's the sense of fulfillment I was promised, right? Just to create. To put it simply, to create. Yeah. What do you miss the most about America? I'm biased because I'm vegetarian, vegan, 80% vegan. I miss the vegan food section at the grocery store. They have one here. It's just not as extensive. Like in American supermarkets, they have vegan chicken and waffles, vegan quiche. Like every time I go back to America, I swear the vegan section grows. I think they're about to have like a top sirloin steak. The food scientists, you guys are getting crazy over there in America. You guys are out here researching. You guys have been experimenting and researching while I've been here. Bring it over to Japan. Bring it over here. We need your help. Sometimes I miss the portion size. By the way, this is not sponsored by Honda. This is just my partner's sweatshirt. I don't even know what Honda is. I think it's like a band. I think it's like a metal band. Honda. Gotcha. I'm not that silly. Or am I? If I really thought this was a metal band, mind your business. Okay, bye. Okay, side note, for the OGs that are staying till the end, I was filming a super long, informative video before this video, and I took so many takes and I just couldn't do it, so I was like, I need a video that's a little more chill, a little more feasible, a little more light. So that's why I chose this. So, thank you for watching. Much love from Tokyo.